Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Alex De-Drouin, the drummer of the band De-Drouin. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, caffeinated crew? On this episode, I'm joined by Alex, the drummer of De-Drouin. We've been talking about this episode before the band was even called De-Drouin.
Yeah.
So very, very long time in the making, but very happy that we're sitting down this morning, sharing some coffee together. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. You?
I'm great. I'm happy to have a nice warm cup of coffee in my hand. I know you are too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cooled down a lot, but yeah, the flavor's getting.
It's rising when the temperature drops, the flavor rises, right?
Yeah.
What are you drinking over there?
I have. Do you know Fantôme Cafe?
I do.
I have the bag, but it's like I buy it in like bulk, so it's not the real bag. But yes, Fantôme Cafe. It's a Randolfo Pancheco, Guatemala washed. Notes of like jasmine, passion fruit, waffle. I really love those type of notes, and from Quebec City, it's one of my like favorite roaster.
Are you so you like the fruitier, like funky tasting?
Yeah. When I first came across those like third wave coffee, and I thought like the espresso was like the finest version of a coffee, and then I tasted like a filter, like a pour over with fruits, and I was like, oh, that's my jam. Yeah.
When you get that nice clean V60 taste, man.
Yeah. But it's getting like more common, like to like in the third wave, to like those like fruity, and for some it's more the floral side. But yeah. A couple years ago, it was more outstanding or unique.
It was unique. Now we're all fermented. Everybody's on the fermented coffee.
Yeah.
So
anaerobic or something like that. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm rocking this morning. I had the rare opportunity to go to Collective Coffee while I was in Copenhagen. For a lot of third wavers, they know that this is like the gold standard shop that kind of started it all.
Yeah.
And I got their Los Rodriguez. It's a anaerobic, oh my God, where's it from? Oh, it's from Bolivia, but it's an anaerobic.
Oh, cool.
It is notes of like mango and apple blossom, and there's some other things, but it's all in Danish. So I'm having trouble reading it.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I looked it up online, I could find it, but just what I'm tasting, it's pretty fresh right now. It hasn't quite cooled, but there is some good mango flavor, like at the front, like the sweet, juicy.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good. This shop as a whole, one of the best coffee experiences I went to 3 different of their shops in Copenhagen.
Yeah, there's a lot in the Danish side. Man.
But yeah, the Collective stuff is so great. Every barista I talked to, every shop I went to was really nice, really friendly, always wants to talk about like coffee and sourcing and traceability. And that's something that they've really championed like from their side. So
it's not just like you order and then leave the place.
No, like taking a to-go cup from there is offensive.
Yeah.
But just really happy that I was able to bring some stuff back home and try and give them a fair shake on the podcast. So cheers.
Cheers, man. Did you bring some like Quebec or Montreal coffee to give at the people
I should have done that, but I travel very light, especially when I have to fly like in between different countries. I like to just do a carry on and like a backpack. So I honestly didn't. I barely had room to even bring. I brought
Yeah, yeah,
five bags of coffee back. So I barely had room to pack my clothes.
yeah. Gotta
But that's
leave
like,
this shirt behind
yeah,
because,
like I'm leaving pairs of underwear and socks so that
yeah,
I can fit the coffee bags. Anywhere that I could get like a 200 gram or less bag, I was buying that so that it would like just
yeah,
lay like in the. But yeah, I should have done that though. I should have taken some like nectar, some
yeah,
Cantuk.
yeah. I have
Uh,
a nectar right there too. Like my friend do the roasting for them since like a couple months. And
nice.
yeah, Kantuk from Quebec City. Those are like my top three. Right now, I'm. Do you know some coffee from like Gaspésie, like from East? It's a Brûlerie du Quai.
Oh no, I don't know them.
It's from Carleton sur Mer, and they roast like they're like near the Atlantic, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's they have some pretty cool and like rare stuff. So yeah,
Well, when you go to a shop, because I know that you guys play outside of, like you play outside Quebec City quite a bit. You were just
yeah,
in the Festival du Lac at
yeah,
Grand Bay.
yeah,
When you go into a coffee shop and you
yeah,
walk in and you've scoped it out on Google Maps, you're like, this one
yeah,
might
yeah.
be good. What do you order to test that coffee shop?
I'm a big V60 guy, but when we go play some shows, I'm like the only like coffee nerd in the band. So we don't usually go to and we travel in the same van or so. I don't
Hmm.
have the the chance to try around. But yeah, when I go like by myself, it's more like yeah, a clean V60. I sometimes like espresso, but more like a pour over. Yeah.
So
And for the summer, maybe the I'm into big like coffee based drinks. Like you have like coffee, cold brew lemonade, or like espresso tonic. And
yes,
yeah, I'm a big fan of these. Like I'm not into like hot coffee during a hot day. So
especially when we're gonna hit 40 degrees this week, I think.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Cold brew lemonade has been my jam since the beginning of the summer. Yeah.
that Zab Cafe Limo,
Yeah, yeah,
that's good
yeah.
shit.
It's really good. Yeah, yeah,
Luckily, I live down the street from Cafe Leo, which is a Zab shop. It's pretty third wave. Like there's an art gallery inside and like a barber shop upstairs. So it's very much like an annoying coffee shop.
yeah,
Um, but they also have like they do iced lavender lemonade that you can
Oh,
also. So I may be seeing if they'll make me one and dump a double shot in it, or maybe do like
yeah,
a half cold brew, half lavender.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
So
never
I'm
tried
excited.
those like lavender. Yeah,
It's good. Lavender mochas are nice because it's got like a bit of like floral sweetness to the chocolate,
yeah,
but not like over sweet.
yeah, yeah.
But I'd
Mm.
much prefer like a nice iced, like a espresso tonic, like you said, is
Yeah, yeah,
just the greatest
yeah,
drink.
yeah,
So I was gonna ask. I kind of want to start this new question with coffee people that are more in tune with their,
yeah,
coffee beliefs. But I just like how it sounds. It's like, how do you brew instead of how do you do?
yeah.
But you sound like a V60 person, but do you have a rig at home that you brew with?
Yeah, but I have my like Baradza Henkor. I have my kettle, like a gooseneck electric one. I don't
Okay.
remember the brand, but like the one you see a lot for the
Is
for
it
the
the
third
black like
wave.
the fellow?
Yeah, yeah, fellow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. And yeah, it's been my like my go-to each day since like 3 years now or
Hmm.
more. So yeah, when I'm at my girlfriend's place, I have my like manual do like I do the same recipe, and I cannot yeah, it's part of the routine now. So yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you wake up, you go to do your bathroom thing, come out,
Yeah. Yeah.
do the coffee thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a ritual.
Yeah. And like with the balance, I like put like 20 grams, and like, oh, the water's temperature is gonna be that, and like I'm I'm not that much of an I've been more like nerdy into this stuff. Now it's more like the routine, and
Yeah.
the parameters have been set, and that's the yeah.
Yeah, it's what they call dialed in. You just
Yeah, dialed in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
like
shouldn't
automated.
do like 94 Celsius. It's more like 93. Like, but I've like, I'm not into like as much as I used to. Yeah.
I honestly haven't found the difference because I've got the Fellow with the adjustable temperature as
Yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah.
And I've tried from between 90 and 100. I've done a few different settings, and I'm like, honestly, I can't tell like a
Yeah,
huge difference.
yeah. Like you have to try it like blind test to make sure, like, do you really like
Yeah.
consider the difference or taste the difference? Because
Yeah. That's the thing is like, cause I have the exact same setup. I do Baratza Encore, Fellow
yeah,
EKG Plus,
yeah,
like the Hario drip scale.
yeah.
And then V60. Sometimes when I make espresso though, I do on an AeroPress, and that's pretty
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I have
just for
one too, but I don't use it as much as yeah.
it's just for tonics. Like literally if I'm making espresso tonics or espresso martinis.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So it's really good. But yeah, for the V60 it's dialed. It's like this is my grinder setting. I just put it
yeah,
at like 95, 96,
yeah,
let it roll. But
yeah,
yeah, I guess we should do blind tests. Maybe we should blind test the temperature
yeah.
thing.
Because it's more like when you rely on those, like, oh, it's gonna be that temperature or that like level of grind size, and like you don't taste as much. You consider your taste like
Yeah.
in
There's like
line
a
with those
bias.
variables. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But
Yeah.
if you like sit down and really taste, and you're like, oh, maybe that brew time wasn't that such a bad time, because there's no bad, or like it can be, but
Right.
not as much as we we like to think. Yeah,
It's all about like, like in mixing audio or like, tuning drums or anything like that. It's all about like, don't follow the numbers always, follow your
yeah,
ears. Like if it sounds good, it
yeah,
sounds good. And you could have
yeah,
like the shittiest looking EQ, but if it sounds good, that's
yeah,
same with coffee. If it tastes good and it looks like it's all over the place, it tastes good.
yeah. That's the only thing that should matter. Yeah,
Exactly. Well, I love hearing people's setups. I want to try doing this more how do you brew thing.
hmm
But all of the coffee people that I get on, they're always instantly wanting to be like V60, fuck everything else. Their only way of life is pour over. And I'm like, fine, like we'll just talk
yeah.
about fucking pour overs then. Like,
Like it's gonna be which color of your
yeah.
V60 are more red.
Which or are you a flat bottom or a cone origami person? Like
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
it's
yeah,
always. It's about to just be that stupid. So or
yeah,
like what's your filters? Like
yeah.
which I did try some different like in Brussels. I went to a place called Bouche, which is a Wide Awake shop. Which Wide Awake is like probably the biggest in specialty coffee in Brussels right now,
Yeah.
aside from Mock, which kind of started the trend. But they were using Sybaris filters.
Oh,
Yeah,
not
I don't know.
familiar with it.
But looking at the bag, it made me want to buy them just because, branding is like everything in coffee.
Yeah.
So just looking at it, I was like, those are probably really good filters. But
Mm.
I don't know if they are. Like, I've never
Yeah.
heard of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And they must be expensive, or like.
oh, they have to be like
Yeah.
Cafec also has some too, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a horrible life being this like. Am I getting the best cup of coffee? Do I need to change filters for these $30 filters instead of
Yeah.
the $10
Yeah,
REMs?
odors. Do I have to put those minerals in my water to make it more?
Don't even. I haven't even gotten. I'm like a Brita filter is fine. You know, like
Yeah.
are you doing water things?
No, no. I had a sample once of these, and they are in my closet. So I need to have like one of the most expensive coffee to maybe like try it with those.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's just it takes up so much space to have the gallon
yeah,
of the distilled water in your fridge
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't have room for that. And it's ugly.
yeah,
Like the Brita filter looks nice. It does what it needs to do.
yeah,
So, but yeah. Well, thanks for sharing about your brewing.
yeah.
You're
My
giving
pleasure.
us a look into your daily grind.
Mm,
You like that?
yeah, yeah,
Let's talk a little bit about your musical background. You're a drummer. You're
yeah.
a heavy hitter. I don't know if
Thank you.
anybody
Yeah,
else has listened to Shoe Knife that's listening to the podcast, but if you listen, you can tell that the drums are being hit hard. It's
yeah.
good. So tell me, what was your first drum kit?
Um, like the first real one that wasn't like a like sketchy brand was a Tama,
Oh, nice.
and
You
I
had a
had it
sketchy
for
brand,
yeah, but like one that my dad's bought me, but like a colorful blue, not a kid's kit, but like
like a Westbury or something, like a
yeah, yeah,
network.
something,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I had a Westbury once. Like I think it's the first one that I've played on it. Yeah, but I had like a Tama for, and then I moved into DW, and now I'm rocking a Gretsch.
Oh,
And yeah, I
what's
really love
the
those.
what's the series?
It's Brooklyn. Yeah,
You went US made,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
So the factory that makes the Brooklyns and the USA Customs,
yeah.
it's an hour from my hometown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in South Carolina. It's called Ridgeland, South Carolina. And I had friends that worked at the
Oh
factory and built like some of those original not broadcasters, the Brooklyns. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I used to work at a studio where the guy that owned the studio, he used to work there and built a whole bunch of drums. He built his own kit that we had at the studio
Oh
with like a 15-inch floor tom, like a
oh
12. It was like a 12 by 7 or 8. It was like really weird sizes, but they were sizes
yeah,
that
yeah,
he wanted. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see like some of those old kits. And
yeah.
they when Gretsch bought out Slingerland in the 70s or 80s, they opened a factory store like right outside of my hometown. And
Mm,
so my first guitar and drum kit came from that factory outlet store.
yeah.
But it was like it was like not a good brand. It was like
Oh
some like, you know, like low tier like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Spirit or something like that. But I'm a big Gretsch person just because it feels like that local
yeah,
feeling.
yeah. And it's like one of the first brands. So I was aiming for like a old school brand for a kit, and I went to my like local drum shop in Quebec City, and they had received like one of the newest kit. It's a Brooklyn, but with a broadcaster finish. So it's
Nice.
kind of unique of its kind. But I wasn't planning on buying a new kit, and then I had to. So
Was it Gagne?
yeah, yeah,
I said that
music
probably
Gagne.
so bad.
Not as bad
Gagne.
as my accent since the beginning, but yeah.
I say so. I see the Gagne stuff on Reverb all the time. If I'm like looking for some like
Yeah,
some weird like vintage shit, it's either
yeah,
them or we have Timpano.
yeah,
They're my shop, so
yeah, yeah,
it's cool that we have these drum shops in Quebec
yeah.
that they
And
haven't
the
all
drum
gone.
shot,
Yeah,
yeah, it's really good. The guy at Gagne, they like built a separate room, like they have a big room for drums and then like a separate room for the cymbals where you can like put on gloves. You went there?
No, I haven't been to theirs, but at
Oh,
Timpano it's the same. They have
yeah.
like the largest cymbal room in Canada or something, but it's
Mm,
amazing.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
can just go in there, try all the cymbals, hit them as loud as you want.
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. And I know the guys that like the guys that work there, so they when I go, I have to like leave the schedule because we I'm gonna spend a long time there. So
Yeah. What's your current cymbal setup?
I have a Zildjian K Suite series. I have a cluster crash, but
Ooh,
all the rest is a K Suite since like the last recording. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
So what made you want to be a drummer?
Um, I think I had always like the kid in school that we used to like king 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 with the pens and pencils and like ding 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 hits everything and
Just
like
smack everything?
yeah, and my brother used to play guitar, so I think like we didn't form a band, but like the go to was to maybe we I should go this way and more drumming side. So and yeah, it's been I started playing like when I was around 10 years old, so like 20 years now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who was the first drummer that you like looked at and you were like, that's what I want to do that?
There's not like a much of like idols and drummer like oh yeah Travis Barker. I was more like into I want to play music and
Hmm.
my instrument is drums and
Oh,
that's I wasn't like a big drum guy. I was more like a band guy.
right.
I like this band and yeah the drummer is cool but the music all the rest is cool as well. So I'm more like a band guy and I think yeah it's kind of rare for some drummer to like not worship
Yeah.
some guy, but yeah, yeah,
I'm surprised somebody from Canada wouldn't be like lined up to say Neil Peart,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's an
I'm not
easy one.
a big prog guy, but like I love the drumming, but I'm not like a
Yeah, it's
I
not.
don't know worship the like the drum only. Like I know some of the guys that play drum only like yeah oh, listen that part at 7:02 till 7:03. It's like the complex bar. I'm more is the song good? Is the band? I'm more into like now like dynamic, energetic guy. Like they bring put on a show that's more my vibe now.
That is so. I love that specific idea because I I I think that it is rare, like you're saying, to find somebody that is so like music or band centric instead of
Yeah,
like instrument, like it revolving around where am I gonna flash? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
where am I gonna like pop off?
yeah,
And I think that in Don't Tries, like in y'all's new EP specifically,
yeah,
that is like a driving element. Like you listen to, from start to finish, it feels like a dynamic kind of
yeah,
heavy area. You find like, the faster parts, the big parts, even like I think it's on oh my god, on Crumbs, how it starts out with like the da 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 and it's just that like
yeah,
big open drum riff, and it's like, isn't this a hardcore band? Because this just feels like a fucking like rock riff.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
playing to the song, playing to the band, like I think that that's an idea that really needs to come back into focus, like what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, it was like a big motto in the last recording. So thinking like what serves the song, and we had a producer for this one, like Andrew from Comeback Kid.
Hmm.
We might want to talk about this later too, but
Oh yeah.
we were always thinking about like what serves the song. So we don't want like the guitar riff with the big drum fills and the vocals on top, and then we like what serves the song. Is it like simple drumming on this part and then the creative like most unique part? And yeah, I think we did a good job with that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I said. I think that like it's a well written EP. Like it's well written songs in general. There's not like I think, moments. There's moments dynamically and as a whole that stand out, but I don't think there's like that guitar riff or like that
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
drum fill. Like it's just well written through and through. And it's very catchy. Like I remember I turned it on for the first time, and it ended. And I was like, is it already like it already ended? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like this could go on for another like 3 songs at
Yeah,
least. So
yeah, yeah. And it's a pretty like it's a long EP that it was like for us it's the Shoe Knife EP, but like
right,
for the Spotify and Apples of this world,
it's
it's
an
like,
album.
oh, it's like a complete album. But
they
yeah,
they did they did a 12-inch EP.
yeah, yeah,
That's great. Well, I'm super stoked that you guys were finally able to drop it because I know that y'all had been sitting on some of these songs for a bit. Um,
yeah,
and then there was the whole name change.
yeah,
If there's anything you want to get into about that, because I know when I saw y'all with Comeback Kid in 2022, y'all were
yeah,
still Boundaries. And then
yeah,
it was a few months after that everything kind of did the shift. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
was that I'm sure that was a very difficult decision.
Yeah, because I don't want to spend too much like time on that, but it's more like like of course there's the band with the same name, and we just want to like be more like have more freedom in doing what we were doing and not
Right.
like bring like because the bookers, the promoters were thinking like, oh, is it the Boundaries US or Boundaries from Canada on this tour? Or like we had like Instagram posts like with the wrong
Tags.
with the wrong tags, and like how, are you gonna put on like an ad and the people are gonna like the wrong page? And like we just want to like distance ourselves from this one. And good, and it was like it was a nightmare to do this change because we had to like change all the names of the page, and we create another one because we we couldn't change. It was like a difficult like
Damn.
time, but I think we're really proud we did it. And yeah,
I think that it's because y'all launched it with basically a whole new look, essentially. Like
yeah,
it felt like it wasn't just y'all had to change the name because there's Boundaries Connecticut. Completely different sound,
yeah,
completely different vibe as a whole. But
yeah,
I know that there has been so much confusion over the past few years, especially they were getting, really big like in the States on the metalcore circuit. You
yeah,
guys we're getting bigger. I mean, crossing over between hardcore and some metalcore as well, because you guys opened for Jesus Piece and Fuming Mouth, which
yeah,
that could also be a Boundaries Connecticut show.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
I know that there had been a bit of, back and forth with that. So, but for you guys to not just have to be like, okay, well, we got to change the name. We're getting bigger. We want to play bigger things.
yeah,
But it felt like an elevation. Like it felt like you guys were kind of already on this path. And then when you launched with the new look, the new name, new graphics, kind of an elevated vibe, I was like,
yeah,
oh, okay, they're about to do like a big thing. Like there's some
yeah.
big shit happening.
Yeah, yeah, and that was part of the intention too. And it
Mm-hmm.
was always uh, like maybe when you saw us at the Comeback Kid show, we had our backdrop had the "Don't Try" written on it from like
I don't even think
a
that was y'all
year.
had it.
Yeah, but yeah. I think it's because of this like the small venue. But for
Right.
like most of the show, like the year before the name change, we had like "Don't Try" written off. So it was always part of our mentality to like yeah, we're doing this thing and we're doing music and
Mm-hmm.
we're not trying, we're really doing it. So yeah.
Right. Well, bravo on making it not feel like it was like a loss or a defeat, but making
Yeah.
it feel like it's a next step, like it's an elevation and an evolution into
Yeah.
where you guys are going. So congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
And I know that it will definitely set y'all apart from the
Yeah.
other band, which is
Yeah.
5 hours away driving.
Yeah. And they're coming to Canada soon, I think. So
Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah.
I do like that band a lot, but yeah, it was definitely like I'm more partial to this one, but like I like their music
Yeah.
too. So now it's easier.
Yeah.
Why is there a reason for the "Don't Try" name? Like, is there some kind of lore behind that?
Yeah, but yeah. As I was saying, like maybe it was always part of our approach to the band, like our mentality, or like for as a band, but as individuals too in our lives. So like maybe you try something, you want to like maybe we should do that thing for that show, or maybe we should do that thing for that visual, or how about that recording, maybe we should go that path. But now we're thinking more like we're doing some stuff, and if it's working, it's working, people will follow. And so it's more like of a like don't try, but just do it. So it's that mentality that we as a band, but as individual with our lives too. So yeah.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. And it does feel like you guys are just kind of doing your thing.
Yeah.
You're doing what you like, and
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it
And it
sticks
came
with yeah.
it comes from I don't know if you're familiar with Charles Bukowski. It's like an old writer. If you're into books or something, it comes from his like his life, and it's written on his tombstone. Like so.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys look like bikers now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Except for is Max? He still has like the baby face.
Yeah. And we all do without the beards. It's
Yeah,
like
without the chops.
five. Yeah, five babies.
5 30-year-old babies.
Yeah. You need maybe some. If you could, like you need some facial hair. So you need some like a big mustache or like a
a big mustache would be sick.
Yeah.
Like if he could just have like a thick like
Yeah.
handlebar.
But he can't
even.
grow. He can't grow it. So I think
Poor fella.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, really, really stoked for what you guys have coming. Looked like y'all had a great time at Festival du Lac.
Yeah.
And the videos.
Yeah.
They're sick.
Yeah. Thank you.
So the Crumbs one's awesome. It was really cool that, you mentioned Andrew Newfield doing the production, the producing for the album. And you guys recorded it at House of Gain, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Max
Lacroix. Yeah.
Lacroix. He's like a metalcore hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, he he just did like recording and like tracking. Did he mix it as well?
Yeah. Engineer, mix, and we had Andrew on board to like elevate the songs, like, make them like how can this be a better songs?
Right.
How can this be? Because we had like the songs in their like most final version, as like we were like, oh, this is the final Crumbs version.
Mm-hmm.
But when we approached him to like, it was the first time with a producer too, so and we really liked that experience. So yeah. And
so do you feel like having that outside like the outside ears is really like did it really just help y'all get the songs?
Yeah, some songs like he didn't like just put his touch on every little single part. It was more like, how can I bring this CP to a next level. And some songs were like the same as we played it to him. So it was kind of a good feeling for us to know that we could like write a good songs
Mm-hmm.
from for it. But yeah, he helped us with a couple of other parts and like listening to how can this song be like bigger, better, and
Mm-hmm.
what if this part becomes like shorter and you do this and you do that, and yeah, a really cool
So
yeah.
did he charge extra for the feature, or was that part of his producer fee?
Yeah. It wasn't supposed to like it wasn't like a plan like from the beginning. We should we have him on production. Let's like it was more like if we have a part and if he's willing to do it, and like the guys did it at like the last day. It's the like the last thing that was recorded. They were in like post production kind of like the guitar effects, and we're thinking, oh, maybe that part you should maybe try this one. And he was and like all of the it was only Ollie the bass player and Louis and Andrew that was like they we stayed a couple days longer so to finish the recording. And yeah, it was like if the part with him is not as great as the Max part, we'll we'll leave it
Right.
to the original. But yeah, it was a good a good call, I think.
Yeah, it fits really really well. I think like getting other eyes kind of outside of this region, you know,
Yeah,
because Comeback Kid comes from Western Canada. That's like a world away for people that don't know. Canada's a big place.
yeah,
So getting eyes on it, not just from Western Canada, but Comeback Kid in the U.S. is obviously like still pretty highly regarded as
yeah,
a great hardcore band. And so I think getting people's eyes on it that maybe haven't heard of Don't Try, but they know Andrew, they see he
yeah,
featured on the song. It's just a really good move all in all.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And it was kind of a unreal experience to have him in the room and like to play some riffs. And like I was recording drums and I see him like headbanging and like, yeah, he digs the song, he digs the part. And how can I make him headbang more? Like I
yeah.
wanted to make him like the drumming parts and stuff. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
an unreal experience. Yeah.
I'm sure that's because that's a crazy experience. Because even for me, one of the first hardcore songs I ever heard was Wake the Dead.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, having him in the room and me
Yeah.
playing drums and him headbanging would be like,
Yeah.
this is like a full circle experience.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So,
For us too, it was one of
yeah.
the first bands that in the genre. Yeah.
So that's really cool. I heard a story from somebody that you guys are friends with. And I don't know if I was supposed to hear it or not. I heard that you
Oh
guys
no.
were recording one
Oh
night,
no.
and that there was some libations, some beverages, and maybe some people had a little too much and
Okay. Go on. Yeah.
recorded some parts without tuning the guitar.
Oh yeah. 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 It was like "Wear Me Out," I think.
Okay.
Yeah, on the this song, but it's more like it's you listen to the record, you notice this one is more like a party song of like a more punk like and we were just doing the yeah, playing around with some guitars effects pedals, and yeah, maybe some beverages were yeah were involved in the making of this song.
But was it Max or Andrew had to step out for a minute for like a phone call or something, and y'all recorded like this entire part?
Oh yeah, I think yeah we I don't know if it made the cut, maybe I think.
But he had to like,
I'm
yeah, he
not
was
sure.
like, "Did you guys tune the guitar?" Like, oh,
Oh, we had to maybe. Yeah, my
uh,
my memory's kind of
shady about that one?
Yeah. No, it was a fun experience. Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Doing the video with Phil,
Yeah.
the boiler suit video. Did y'all just give him free reign, or how was that seeing a claymation version of yourself?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. He's from Quebec. We know him from a long time, and like Oli approached him, and it was like we saw what he did for other artists during the pandemic. He did like another one too, and yeah, we gave him like free range too, and he came back with a storyboard of his like idea in hearing the song, and we posted like a couple of weeks ago, and we were like, yeah, that's exactly why we're we're working with you. And yeah, it was really yeah, and I think it's a creative one, and we don't see that often in the genre too. It's like nobody does that, so yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, I was super happy because Phil's tattoo shop is right around the corner from my house. So I have like one piece from him. It's like a little thing, but I love his stuff, like his like animated tattoo little clips on TikTok and stuff.
Yeah.
So when the video dropped and like he shared it, I think I was like, this is amazing. Like there's nobody doing any videos like this right now.
Yeah.
So I was both impressed and extremely entertained.
Yeah. 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 When we saw the storyboard, we were like, how does his brain works? Like come up with this with those ideas. It's insane.
And it's funny too because he's so quiet. Like he's such a quiet dude. But then like he comes out with this crazy shit. And it's like, oh, okay, so this is why you're so quiet. Because if you just said the shit you're thinking, everybody would think you're insane.
Yeah. And it was cool because it's like 3 completely different music videos, like more of them, like more lyric kind of experience, more like a live approach to with the crumbs and the crumbs one, and then this one. So we're proud of the it's not 3 like similar music videos to promote the EP. So yeah.
So I know that y'all just did the videos. Was y'all released the EP? Was that independently or was that with a label?
Yeah. No, independent. Okay. Yeah.
Do you guys have anything coming up in the works, whether it be label wise you can talk about, or shows that you want to plug? What do you have going on?
Yeah. We have some shows. We are playing Ontario next. I don't know when that's coming out, but we're playing in July 21st, 22nd. We're playing like London, Hamilton, Toronto, nice. And some shows in the works in the fall as well. But we're kind of keeping it busy, and we want to play as much as we can. We want to make sure that the songs are are going to be played live and heard by a lot of people. And we're already thinking next material, maybe recording this fall. But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are y'all wanting to keep it indie, or do y'all want to get on a label at some point?
It's not like an obligation to get on a label for real. So we're pretty DIY in every aspect of like what we're doing. And if someone's is going to be as involved as we are in this band, maybe we will like give this this guy or this woman a chance. But yeah, right. We're more like DIY, but the doors never close. So yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Get into the States. That's y'all need to.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's on y'all's plans as well, but I think it's worth the expense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking into like Europe too and the States, but we're gonna,
Europe would be sick. I think you guys would really go over in Europe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool because over there they're still very like punk orientated in a lot of
Yeah,
the places I went, and I think you guys really like flirt with that punk kind of punk rock, but heavier.
yeah,
So people would really like that because they like to
yeah,
party and
yeah.
drink too. So
Yeah. Yeah, we played with we're used to play with like more metalcore bands, but when we played in Granby, we were like, it's not the same as what we're doing. Where maybe we should play with more like, just as you said, like more punk, and we because our it's a I think our music is more like in between with. It's not like pure hardcore like old school, and it's not like punk, like skate punk, or but it's like a blend of these two. Yeah,
it very much reminds me of like not early Norma Jean, but the kind of more like I guess later like Norma Jean E-Tid kind of stuff where it's a bit
yeah,
southerny, but it still has like a lot of aggression and attitude.
yeah,
But it's you can dance to it, and it's
yeah,
great. So
yeah.
it's drink. It's like yeah, beer core or something. I don't know.
Beer core.
Makes you want to have a beer and dance.
Yeah, and it's a good feeling, I think. Yeah,
It is. It can't all be the fucking beat up your friends music. Sometimes you
yeah,
gotta relax and bob your head.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there are moshy parts.
yeah.
So yeah,
But it's
I'm
not
very
just that. So
right. It's good. I'm very excited to see the new stuff live. I don't know when you guys are planning to come through Montreal, but
yeah,
it would
maybe
be
this fall. Yeah, or at the end of the year. I don't know, but we're planning on a lot of more shows. Yeah,
awesome. Well, I'm
yeah.
very excited. Very excited to see what happens with you guys because that new stuff, everything y'all are putting out right now is like, I think, top notch.
Thank you.
Especially for a band from Quebec. Like, there's nobody from Quebec that's doing that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Thanks, man. It's really
um,
cool.
well, Alex, I've really enjoyed our chat. I'm so happy that we were able to make this happen.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you hanging out.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Me too. Thanks for reaching out. Yeah, it's been a challenge for me, but I'm glad I did it. So yeah.
you have been great. Okay, you have been
Thank you.
awesome. I'm sure if we tried this the other way, that we wouldn't even be able to communicate. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
this has been awesome. You shouldn't be at all like feel bad or anything because it's honestly, come on, we're in
Thank
Quebec.
you. Yeah.
Before we go, let me ask you, what's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
Um. Hmm. I think it got to be Quebec City for real. I'm gonna preach the local scene, but yeah, I have to explore more. So maybe I hope my answer will change, or maybe consider more new cities for that. But yeah,
Quebec's a good one. Quebec's good for the coffees. Obviously, it's really good. I don't know
yeah,
if a lot of people listening know, like, Cantuc is like, it's one of my favorites from Quebec,
yeah,
especially since they changed the branding. I hated the
yeah,
paper bags,
yeah,
but the green with the orange,
yeah,
very nice. And they're doing cool coffees.
yeah,
So shout out to Quebec City Roasting.
yeah, yeah.
And the shows are fun. I haven't been to one yet because last time we tried to play there, we had some issues.
Oh,
But hopefully soon I'll be out there
yeah,
for a show.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. Represent the QC.
Yeah, but Montreal's a good one too. So
It's fine. It's just, it's Montreal. It's all the glitz and glam. I'm just kidding. It's not anything like that. We just have a lot. We have a lot of people.
yeah.
So, but again, Alex, thank you so much for everything. Enjoy your Sunday. Take it easy.
Thank you. Thanks to you.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Alex for coming on the podcast. If you haven't already, check out the Shoe Knife EP from Don't Try. It's available on all listening platforms, and it is really, really great. A fun listen. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.